Tuesday evening, and you're watching the Evening News Bulletin. I am Anastasia Badua, and to our top stories. In a meet the press held today here in Accra, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Samuel Abujinapo, has hinted that the 2022 budget will make significant intervention for the small-scale mining sector. Now, Ghana has received 1.7 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine from the American government. And in business, commercial transport operators say they will embark on a strike come 25th November. Now, still on demonstrations, residents of Dalong in the northern region have embarked on a heated demonstration following the poor nature of roads in the community. We've got details of these stories coming up in this bulletin and some more in sports, business, entertainment, and possibly the international fronts. The news is streaming live on Facebook, Adoatv Ghana, YouTube, Adoatv GH. It is sponsored by Vena Natural Mineral Water, Blue Sea Ties and Accessories, CB Herbal Center. I am Anastasia, but we're now to the details. The police in Adoa on November 16, 2021 have arrested 5 robbery suspects, including a woman and a juvenile, who carry out their robbery activities on highways linking Nkranza and Tichiman in the Bono East region and the Adoa-Sitre-Dumasi municipal area of the Ashanti region. According to a statement dated 23rd November 2021 and signed by the Director General of the Public Affairs, Ibrahim Idrisu Musa Ajuma, together with a 14-year-old juvenile, were arrested at Adoa after extensive police surveillance on their activities. The statement noted on the spot search on the suspect and juvenile led to the recovery of 10 assorted mobile phones, 1 Infinix charger and a lady's bag. Other items suspected to have been robbed from commuters and retrieved from them included 1 unregistered Apsonic motorbike and an amount of 2,279 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, a driver who was a victim of the suspect's robbery expedition along the Techiman-Adoa highway during police investigations identified all the 4 suspects and the juvenile as the robbers who attacked him on November 15, 2021 at Adiamra. Other victims have also come forward to identify these criminals and their stolen items, part of the statement said. However, the police administration has lauded the efforts of the Adoa District Police Command in ensuring robbery activities becomes undesirable in Adoa and beyond. The service further assured the general public that it shall not relent in making communities safe and peaceful. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Samuel Abujinapo has applauded government for its significant intervention made for the mining sector in its 2022 budget statement presented in Parliament. According to the sector minister, the reduction of the withholding tax placed on unprocessed gold from 3% to 1.5% will contribute tremendously to the growth of the small-scale mining sector. In the same vein, he highlighted some series of tours his ministry has undertaken in quite a number of the country's regions geared towards the effective management of the resources of our country. He made this statement at the Meet the Press series held at the Ministry of Information.
To perform a very important part of our mandate, which is accounting to the people and giving an account of how far we've discharged the instructions of the president thus far. Distinguished guests, members of the press, I'm sure you will appreciate how important the mineral sector of our country is to all of Ghana. As you know, these minerals are vested in the president, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has the mandate and responsibility to manage the minerals of our country through the Minerals Commission, which is the technical bureaucracy through which these resources are managed. And you know, we began the year on the instructions of the President with a national consultation on small-scale mining, which was held on the 14th and 15th of April. Thereafter, I've been leading a delegation from the ministry to tour the country. We've done Ashanti, we've done Eastern, we've done Western, we've done Central, we've done Western North, we've done Greater Accra, we've done Northeast, we've done Upper East, we've done Upper West, we've done Savannah, we've done Northern Region, we've done Bono East, Ahafo. We're just left with Oti and Volta region to cover all of Ghana. And essentially, one of the main reasons for our tour has been how to effectively manage the mineral resources of our country on the basis of transparency and integrity. We also recall that the President declared water bodies and forest reserves as red zones when it comes to mining. And pursuant to that, I issued a directive to ban prospecting, recognizance, and exploration of minerals in forest reserves in our country. And we recall Operation Halt and the work that is done, which culminated in the launch of the National Alternative Livelihood Program by the President for miners. There's a lot that has been happening at the Minerals Commission, and very soon I'll be inviting the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission to give a presentation to the country on how far we've come with the budget, which was read by the Minister for Finance, had a very significant intervention in the small-scale mining sector of our country. Before the budget, the arrangement which exists now is that if you were exporting gold from small-scale mining, you were required to pay a withholding tax of 3%, which was effectively and by all intents and purposes an export tax. And indeed, the Precious Minerals Marketing Company was responsible for collecting this tax. And it became somehow a disincentive and encouraged smuggling, and which was not good for the mining sector of our country. Arising out of broad consultations in the government and under the leadership of the President, the Minister for Finance has reduced this withholding tax from 3% to 1.5% on unprocessed gold. And it will be collected at the point of production. So it's going to be collected at the mine site. It will not be collected at the point of PMMC. And which will mean that if you were exporting gold arising from small-scale mining, at the point of export, you literally, quote-unquote, will pay 0% tax. What the obligation will be is at the point of production, which is at the mine site, which will be 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed gold. I think this is significant and is going to contribute tremendously to the growth of the small-scale mining sector. The matters to do with community mining, the mercury-free equipments we are bringing in to ensure that the gold is extracted from the ore in a sustainable manner and environmentally sound manner. All of these are matters we seek to bring to the attention of the Ghanaian people. In all, I believe that we haven't gotten to where we should be yet. There are still challenges. On a daily basis, we receive reports of illegal mining activities in several areas and parts of our country. There's a good deal of work we still have to do to come to a situation, a satisfactory situation. But without a shred of doubt, we are making progress and we're on the right track in our view. And we are still open to suggestions and critiques and additions.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer for the Minerals Commission, Martin Kwekwe, has disclosed that effective 1st November, the Minerals Commission has abolished the paper-based application for mining companies to online applications. He noted that it's barely 3 weeks, but yet has been very phenomenal and the cooperation is massive.
Minister, I'm proud to tell the people of Ghana that effective 1st November, we have abolished paper-based applications. So we no longer accept applications, hard copies. You have to go online and do it. Today is 23rd, barely 3 weeks now. It's been very phenomenal. Cooperation has been wonderful. Essentially, what it means is that you can submit application 24/7. You don't need to leave Damango or Ayirbi and come to Minerals Commission all the way. And make sure you meet us between 8 to 5. You can now submit applications online. Paper-based applications have been abolished. Now, we have also upgraded our infrastructure to meet the digitization process. I'm happy to announce that particularly all our regional and district offices have been connected online. Minister, God forbid, but if today there's a disaster and we shut down, we can work 24/7 from our homes. That is Minerals Commission. That's what we've been able to achieve within the last 8 months. Again, we are digitizing all our records. I have recruited as many as 50 national service personnel to digitize the fine details of all the mineral rights, and by close of the year, everything will be fully digitized. But what we have done so far is enough for us to process applications online.
His presentation follows an update by the sector minister on the recent development in the mining sector. Also at the Meet the Press series, he explained that the commission has hired more inspectors to strengthen monitoring and inspection, coupled with the construction of offices.
Again, reforms at the commission. We have hired more inspectors. I think we've hired close to about 30 or so inspectors, essentially mining engineers, most of them from UMAT, so that we put them on the ground. Most of them were hired somewhere between March and then last week. And then we are also providing operational vehicles. With the effort of my minister, I'm pleased to announce that by the end of the year, I'll be getting 20 pickups. 20 pickups, something that has never happened in the commission, so that we'll be able to distribute them to the offices. As I speak to you, I have an office in Dunkwa. The officer there is under the Obuasi officer. There is no vehicle in Dunkwa. So it means this is a problem. The folks in Obuasi have to come all the way. And if the officers in Dunkwa can hear me, I am here telling them that in the next month or so, they'll get a pickup so that it will make them more efficient. Members of the press, if the definition of mining in our law is anything to go by, practically we are mining in all the 16 regions in Ghana. 13 for gold, if it comes to small scale. Apart from Oti, Volta, and maybe Greater Accra, we don't know what the geology will tell us one day. We have small scale mining taking place in 13 regions. I don't know how else you can be efficient if you are not on the ground. One of the reasons that made us inefficient is the fact that we were not visible everywhere. Until recently, Minister, we only had an office in Wa. That's all. And how do you expect the Wa officer to cover the likes of Bole, Tinga, and Co., which are now major hubs for small scale? Offices have been created, and some of them are also under construction.
However, with the aid of the sector minister, he disclosed that they have come up with an operational manual to guide interested persons who would want to venture into small-scale mining. Mr. Isi therefore disclosed that they will undertake a regional tour to educate Ghanaians in that regard.
We have identified 27 areas, and 6 areas have been launched. You notice that we had to pause for a while because we didn't want this small-scale thing or this community mining thing to become another galamsey. So, with the support of my minister and the ministry, we have come out with an operational manual. We are going to roll out very soon and go throughout the whole Ghana to educate people. Essentially, this is to guide everybody who wants to do small-scale and community mining, how you have to do it responsibly. Code of practice, everything is clearly stated here, accordance with law. It's no longer this, excuse my language, Jinahoji thing. And I must be grateful to my deputy minister who has helped me to get this thing through. This is how a typical small-scale or community mining site is supposed to look like. You must have a changing room, have all the first aid and everything provided. So this is what we are insisting that they provide.
Has received another 1.7 million doses of COVID-19 doses from the government of the United States. The United States has now donated 4.2 million doses to Ghana since September.
More than 1.7 million doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines arrived in Ghana today, bringing the total of U.S. donated vaccines to Ghana to more than 4.2 million doses since September. U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Stephanie Sullivan, was joined by Deputy Minister of Health, Mahama Asseiseni, representatives of the Ghana Health Service, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Honorable Kweku Amprochum Sapon, and the UNICEF country representative to Ghana, Mrs. Annie Claire Dufay, to receive the vaccines at Accra's Kotoka International Airport. These life-saving vaccines, donated on behalf of American people, will save Ghanaian lives as we work together to defeat this virus. These doses are the same safe and effective vaccines used in the United States. There's no better time for Ghanaians to protect their families and communities by getting the jab, said Ambassador Sullivan. The donations are part of United States' global efforts to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. In September, President Joe Biden committed to donating 1.1 billion doses of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines worldwide. The United States government has already delivered 252 million doses to over 100 countries, including 71 million doses to sub-Saharan Africa alone. With President Biden's commitment, the American people are now donating 3 vaccine doses for every dose that has been administered in the United States. The United States has strongly supported Ghana's COVID-19 response efforts, providing more than $350 million for personal protective equipment and training for medical professionals, medical equipment and testing supplies, vaccine distribution planning and support, economic assistance for impacted communities, 3 new regional public health emergency operations centers in Ghana, as well as educational support for Ghanaian students during the pandemic. The whole of government approach has included elements of the Department of State, Departments of Defense, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the U.S. Agency for International Development.
And now to Parliament. The Speaker, Honourable Alban Smana Kingsford Bagbing, has urged members of Parliament to use the opportunities to change narratives for the benefit of the public. According to him, Ghanaians have toiled and sacrificed their lives and invested so much, and it's pathetic they do not benefit. He made this known during the sideline of a post-budget workshop held in Ho in the Volta region.
The interest generated by the public in the discussions reflected very well the will of the good people of Ghana for effective governance, in which all arms of government, particularly Parliament, play the roles effectively for the benefit of the people. In his closing remarks, Professor Henry Kwesi Prempeh, the keynote speaker at the forum, observed as follows, and I quote, "Parliamentary oversight is an indispensable part of a well-functioning democracy. When it succeeds, parliamentary oversight makes it more likely than not that a democracy will live up to its billing as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Conversely, when parliamentary oversight fails, democracy is likely to malfunction and disappoint, as power and resources entrusted to the government and public officials are likely to be applied wastefully, corruptly, abusively, and in pursuit of interests that diverge from the common good, unquote." This is from the learned professor. He did not just make a dry statement. He supported it with copious legal references and practical examples. That is why we adopted it to use for our workshops. Honorable members of Parliament, we have the opportunity to change the narrative this time around. Ghanaians have toiled, sacrificed their lives, and invested so much to grow and deeply multiply democracy this far. It is still a pity and an indictment on us all political leaders that after 28 years, democracy in Ghana
Thousands of agitated residents of Dalong in the Kumbugu district of the northern region have called on the Akufo-Addo government to fulfill its promise by fixing their roads. Through a demonstration to press home their demands, the residents say living in the community is a living hell considering the nature of the untarred roads. Hence the demonstration. Nuruddin Ibrahim, our correspondent, has more on this report.
Agitated residents of Dalang in the Kumbugu district of the northern region are calling on the Akufo-Addo government to fulfill its promise by fixing their roads. Through a demonstration to press home their demands, the residents say living in the community is a living hell, considering the nature of their roads. In an address, Mr. Mahama Safianu, chairman of the Dalang Youth Association, said the Dalang community is the largest contributor of revenue through its sand winning. Hence, roads in the area needs urgent attention. According to him, the daily usage of the deplorable roads by tripper trucks, which conveys sand to Tamale and its adjoining communities, is destroying the roads rapidly.
Kumbongo, DSA, petition to fix the Dalong roads. We write to petition the office of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, through your high office to hear our plea and bring back the contractor as a matter of urgency to fix our road. Dalong is the largest contributor of internally generated funds through sand winning along the White Volta. A good road will increase the revenue in astronomical numbers. Dalong and Nawini are home to both the headworks and intake works of the Ghana Water Company Limited that supplies water to the Tamale Metropolis, Sanargo Municipality, Kumbongu, Tolong and Savulgo District. An accessible road will make transportation of chemicals to the plants easier and cheaper. Over 60% of the sea sand to the northern region is transported through Dalong Road and worsens the already bad roads every single day. The dust emanating from the excessive use of the road by tipper trucks and other vehicles is the cause of air pollution that leaves many people ill with respiratory diseases. We therefore call on you to, as a matter of urgency, return the contractor to work on the construction of the on fulfillment of the numerous pledges made by your government to the chiefs and people of the area. His Excellency the Vice President himself made the promise to get the road fixed, and we want to remind him to fulfill that promise. We deserve a good road to provide easy transportation of people, food, sea sand and chemicals. We know you are a listening government, and we hope you will listen and respond to our plea urgently. It is our hope that this plea will not fall on deaf ears as we shall continue to demonstrate until our road is finally fixed. Yours faithfully, the people and chiefs of the Dalong traditional area. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mahama mentioned that the contractor working on portions of the road has moved from site and therefore appealed to the government, especially the Vice President Dr. Mahama Dubaomia, who promised to fix their roads to get the roads fixed.
Residents of Achimota say they live in fear as a gutter in the community poses serious threat when it rains. According to the residents, the poor nature of the drain makes it possible for overflow wastewater from adjoining communities whenever it pours heavily. There's more in this report.
The Adoa drainage flows all the way from Taifa to Achimota through to Circle. The drainage system was constructed under former President John Ejekun Kufuor's administration, which means it has been in existence for more than a decade. The main reason for the construction of the Adoa drainage is to avert sporadic flooding when there is a heavy downpour in some parts of Accra. Recently, the Achimota drainage has turned into a refuse dump, of which some residents and others from neighboring communities dispose their refuse in the drainage instead of dumping it at the appropriate dumping site, like the Achimota dumping site, which is equally close by. Some residents of Achimota, in an interview with Adoa News, expressed their worry about the state of the drainage as they claim they fear for their lives if the rains come.
Like they higher because once this is so did the grana, once an basis so no matter baby and so it's a higher or about the form to me planning where we'll be sorry. I'm at home doing one big one and Tini Paco de only pound day and one big go.
And so need a toa. You are mushishi pan because and so no a toa. Last is saying a toy no a bar, but not bad them. The and when they chino ɛna nsuo no ɛntɔ yie but ɛtɔ a ɛyɛ a yɛsoro paa ade no bɛho a ade bɛkye no na nwura mu yɛde ɛbɛgu mu wonhu wɔn a yɛ sa aha yɛn a yɛwɔ ha sɛ no deɛ yɛde yɛpra a ɛyɛ a wɔn bɛsesa kɔ yɛtua aha baabɔntefoɔ no ebi wɔ hɔ anadwo aha ɛna ɛyɛ a wɔn de bɛgu mu
na aseɛfoɔ no wɔn na sɛ nsuo no tɔ kɛseɛ paa yi la etumi fa wɔn hɔnom fa wɔn nneɛma nyinaa na ɛsoro nso no ebubu hɔnom so no yɛasɔre bi wɔ no etumi yiri fa asɔre ne nyinaa nkurɔfoɔ nso na wɔn tutu bɔɔla ne gu mu ɛni nsi na emu na yɛ fi saa no.
Speaking to the Unit Committee, Chairman of the area, Isaac Yeboah Ejay, he said they have tried their possible best to reach authorities in fixing the drainage, but all efforts proved futile. And so they are planning to stage a 3-day demonstration with the youth for immediate action to be carried out.
Abofu as a community, in fact, we have a major problem when it comes to drainage system. We have pushed from the time some of the previous assemblymen were on, and up to date, it seems nothing better has happened. Immediately after the gutter was constructed, there has never been a renovation since date. We have pushed to the authorities, and all that they tell you is that you go, we will get back to you. Date, nothing has happened. And if you bear with me, I don't know if your team has been there. You will see that right now the place has turned into different thing else. Some people have started throwing refuse there. And as a community, one of our major concerns now is with the GH Media School that is very close to there. Because when you look at the impact the school is making, both within the community and outside the community and in Ghana as a whole. And if they are to face any problem when it comes to rain or when it rains and it gets there and destroys things, then automatically it wouldn't just affect the school, but it will also affect individual lives of people who are coming to take knowledge from the school. And one thing that we would like from you, the media, is that you wouldn't just come once a while, but you continue coming, so that we will use your media system so that to talk to the government, for the government to also hear our voice. One thing that we have also decided to use to let the government and the authorities hear our voice is demonstration. And it is a promise we are giving them. The demonstration will be massive. It will be powerful. Nobody can intimidate us, and nobody should try to even think of it. The demonstration can last for 3 days continuously. We are yet to go and meet the MP. We've already given her some of our proposals, but we are yet to meet her so that we plead with her to also push for us so that they come to our aid and they come and help us.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Yape Kusogu, John Abujinapo, has reacted to the 2022 budget debate in Parliament on Tuesday, 23rd, 2021. According to him, members of Parliament should know that their people are calling on them because they are suffering. Hence, the need to put politics aside and be patriotic and show empathy to reject the e-levy task. Addressing the House, he said members of Parliament should be sober to say no to the e-levy tax.
Your constituents are watching you. Please, look at how your people are suffering. The people of KJTR are calling on you. The people of Suame are calling on you. That for the first time, Mr. Speaker, you rightly said that this parliament is a new parliament. Let us put the politics aside. Let us be patriotic. Let us show empathy and reject days of noxious nuisance e-levy tax. Mr. Speaker, it's even an insult unto us to decide that you tax our Momo and tell us that it is innovative. What is innovative about taxing mobile money? What is innovative about taxing mobile money? Mr. Speaker, it is clear that the vice president is becoming somebody you cannot trust. He was against Momo yesterday, today he is for it. He was against taxation, today he was for it. He was in favor for road tolls, today he is against it. Every other benchmark, he was for benchmark, today he is against it. So Dr. Bamia, what do you stand for? That is the question. Mr. Speaker, the last point is the revenue itself. Where is this 100 billion going? They've told us that we should pay the tax so that they will use it for critical infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, let me put it on record that that is false, and it's in the budget. We are paying compensation, 35.8 billion. Interest payment, 37.4 billion. Amortization, 7.9 billion. Statutory payments, 31 billion. When you add all this together, that total revenue cannot even satisfy this amount. So what is left for so-called capital expenditure? It means that we have to borrow another 37 billion, which will still increase our public debt. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I want to end on a very sober way. I do not want to do politics at all. I just want to plead with my colleagues that please join us and let us say no to this mobile money tax because it is regressive.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Information and Member of Parliament for Fwasi Yubi, Honorable Oponkroma, is urging his colleague MPs to unanimously accept the economic policy proposal. Speaking during the 2022 budget debate on the floor of Parliament, which began today, the legislator highlighted, among others, youth unemployment for the budget seeks to address, hence the need for it to be approved.
Mr. Speaker, by the year 2024, 6.6 million young people will be out of school looking for jobs. Any administration that is minded to deal with the challenges of our time will be exploring ways by which it can help ensure that these people get jobs. Considerations that this budget answers. Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, the first thing we have done as an administration, indeed as a country, is to expand the Ghanaian economy. By 2016, when the immediate past administration was leaving power, growth had come to as low as 3.4%. What that means is that the rate at which the Ghanaian economy was expanding, so that private sector could expand and create more jobs, was down to 3.4%. Right, Honorable Speaker, until COVID hit us, we were growing at an average of 7% year on year. An average of 7% year on year. What that meant was that a lot of young people had the opportunity to get jobs in the private sector. Mr. Speaker, additionally, even in the public sector, the government of Ghana, under the leadership of the Akufo-Addo administration, ensured that at least about 300,000 young Ghanaians were recruited in the public sector, both for those who are paid by the Comptroller and Accountant General and for those from the non-subvented agencies. Mr. Speaker, this is very different from the days when we were told that because we were down to the bone and had gone to the IMF, we could not recruit people in the public sector. But what is even more exciting, Mr. Speaker, is that in this 2022 budget, the administration has made available 1 billion Ghana cedis to support young men and women in this republic who want to embark upon their own business, known as the Youth Start Initiative. And so, Mr. Speaker, the most important issue on the minds of Ghanaians is being answered by this administration by expanding the private sector. And if you look at the forecast of growth in the year 2022, we as an administration are forecasting 5.8% growth. The International Monetary Fund, from where my friends get policy credibility, says that they project that we will hit 6.2% growth. That expansion is expansion that will create a lot more jobs in the private sector. The continued expansion in the public sector will create jobs in the public sector. And then the 1 billion Ghana cedis that we are making available to young Ghanaians will also help us create at least about 1 million jobs in the next 3 years in the private sector here in Ghana. And so the most important question, unemployment, is answered by this 2022 budget, Mr. Speaker.
Now, the National Road Safety Authority has hinted on establishing an information center at the NRSA headquarters at Ridge in Accra to help curb road accidents and bring sanity on our roads. Few weeks ago, the NRSA launched an initiative tagged Stay Alive, which is to educate motorists and pedestrians on the need to drive safely. Speaking to the Communications Director for NRSA, Madam Pearl Edisu, in a yet-to-be-aired interview with Reginald Addy on PM Ghana, she told us that an information center will be fully and officially launched.
Well, so curbing road accidents on the highways and other roads in the country has been a challenge, and much as you would want to contribute to ensuring safety on our roads, there has been a divide between whom to contact and who to reach when it comes to informing about accidents or discrepancies on our roads. Well, this office, as you can see, is in the National Road Safety Authority premises, and in 2 weeks' time, this would be an information center where you can simply dial 194 to reach any member of the National Road Safety Authority to report a driver who is driving recklessly or any other form of threats on our roads. Also, you can video and send your concerns about road safety to the authority via 194. These officers would in 2 weeks' time be commissioned and would have a full setup where attendants would be here 24 hours attending to your concerns about road safety. This year, the Road Safety Authority is campaigning on the theme Stay Alive. We pray that when this has been commissioned, you and I would stay alive on our roads. Reginald Addy, National Road Safety Authority.
Is that road safety, as part of our authority mandate, we are establishing a road safety information or call center. Sooner than later, maybe in 2 weeks' time, it will be open for the public. Okay. And our short code is 194.
So you already have the short code?
We already have the short code. We are just integrating it, and it will be open soon. Okay. And so that is a way of interacting with the public, so that the public will get the chance to report and to do inquiries on any road infraction, be it from the engineering side, emergency side, enforcement side, or education side. When you call us, wherever the infraction is coming from, will direct the appropriate agencies and authority to take it up. And per our mandate now, when we don't comply, there will be sanctions. And so we monitor and make sure that a particular infraction is addressed in time. So when we open it up, we will come to the public again through the media and announce to them that an information center has been established, and they could call to report any type of infraction, be it pothole, be it a billboard that is blocking the view of drivers, be it a broken down tree that is in the middle of the vehicle, be it a construction defect that you think will cause risk on the road, be it even a bribery incident involving an enforcement officer. I'm happy about that. Call us. Okay. Anyhow, we will address those things, because when we don't do that, people will continue being irresponsible and indisciplined, which will continue increasing the figures. And when it increases, other people will sit and say road safety is not doing their work. Meanwhile, collectively, we are not doing what we all have to do as a contribution to the reduction.
Now, the president of the African University College of Communications, Professor Isaac Abeku-Blankson, said the gap between academics and industry in Ghana is too wide. He said the country has lost the connection between academia and industry, and for that matter, it is time to look at the practical side of our education system. He said this in an exclusive interview with Nanya Makolesing of the Business Desk.
So I want to bridge that gap, because the gap is too wide. academics and industry in Ghana, it doesn't even exist. But I want to bridge that gap. And so I've charged them to start thinking about that. I've even charged them to look at the way students, the final projects, the level 400 projects, how it's done. You know, so that the students are not doing theoretical papers, but more of practical applications of what they've learned to industry, to communities, to agencies and things out there. So I've told them nobody is going to write a theory paper to graduate. You have to find a client out there, go to the real world, find a problem, use your training here, your education, your knowledge here to address the problem for your client. They seem to be excited about it. We've done it before when I was here earlier. It was very successful. So I want to bring that back. Secondly, we are looking at programs that are contemporary, that are taking advantage of technology. So, for example, we are not going to just offer these dry programs in the MBA. MBA is too generic, and it doesn't really take advantage of anything. So what I've charged them to do is look at how should technology be infused in the courses that we offer. And so we are looking at data science, data analytics, you know, even AI, artificial intelligence, even in journalism, for example, which is one of our programs. How do journalists use technology, drone technology, all those? So I'm pushing them to begin to think and follow what the real world is about now. More technology-driven, more data-driven, and digital, you know, driven, and things like that. So that's the second thing I'm looking, so that we'll move away from those traditional courses that we've been offering to a more contemporary courses where it would be useful to society as we speak. And so those are in terms of the academic area. And of course, this is a private university. We have to charter. So that is aside. And of course, we have to also look at building networks. So networking is very important, especially with our alumni. Earlier on, we had this discussion where we have a lot of alumni out there. So if you're an alumni or alum and you're out there listening, I need you.
We'll go for a quick break, but we'll come back with details of commercial drivers going on a strike on November 25. Just stay with us.
Blue City is a manufacturer. Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
CB makeups now. I'm not correct. What's your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures back on CB makeups. Me see CB makeups and make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew the dada. And one year pocket in iron of a pepper.
Wow! What a packaging. CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no more than the answer wako do ben pegi.
She painful. Any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie du ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamasi.
Adoa 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Welcome back from the break. Now in business, the Concerned Drivers Union Association of Ghana has issued a notice of its intention to go on a strike on 25th November 2021 over high prices of fuel in the country. The group said it has realized the increase in the prices of fuel and spare parts in the country has resulted in a high standard of living. Hence, the Drivers Union decided to go on strike on the 25th of November 2021, and therefore all motorbikes, tricycles, taxis and ritual cars that use fuel for commercial purposes have decided to park their vehicles, the group said in a statement. The union is also pleading with government to help reduce the price of fuel. The drivers who had threatened to strike earlier rescinded their decision pending the presentation of the 2022 budget statement. Since the budget did not touch on any plans to reduce the price of fuel, the drivers have decided to walk the talk and park their vehicles in protest. Now, the Bank of Ghana, after its Monetary Policy Committee meeting, has decided to raise the policy rate by 100 basis points to 14.5%. The Monetary Policy Committee last week held its 103rd meeting, the last meeting for the year. The committee deliberated on recent global and domestic macroeconomic conditions. The September 2021 meeting, the access risk to inflation and growth outlook. The first Monetary Policy Committee meeting for 2022 is scheduled for 25th to 28th January 2022.
The Bank of Ghana, after its Monetary Policy Committee meeting, has decided to raise the policy rate by 100 basis points to 14.5%. The Monetary Policy Committee last week held its 103rd meeting, the last meeting for the year. The committee deliberated on recent goals and domestic macroeconomic conditions. The committee deliberated on recent global and domestic macroeconomic conditions since September 2021 meeting and assessed the risk to inflation and growth outlook. A summary of the developments and key considerations that the committee considered in arriving at its 14.5% decision is the global recovery in global economy has persisted notwithstanding the soft-handed momentum observed in the third quarter of 2021, which is largely attributed to the supply chain bottlenecks and the concern about renewed COVID-19 outbreaks. The International Monetary Fund has subsequently in October marginally lowered its earlier 2021 global growth rate forecast for 6.0% to 5.9%. This forecast, however, conditioned on the evaluation of COVID-19 pandemic and the new waves of infection, especially in Europe, progress with the global vaccination drive and supportive financing conditions. The first Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the year 2022 is scheduled for 25th to 28th January 2022.
Now let's move to sports. Gladson Awako has finally made his long-awaited comeback to Hearts of Oak training following the intervention of the Teshi youth chief. The midfielder today did some workouts at the club's training grounds at St. Thomas Aquinas Park with the Hearts of Oak youth side, Aurores FC.
Gladson Awako returning to Hearts of Oak training grounds comes after an arbitration brokered by a Ga chief from Teshi, original Ni Mate Lai I, where the former Great Olympics player hails from. Awako, who joined the Ghana Premier League champions from rivals Accra Great Olympics in August, is yet to feature in a Hearts of Oak game since he was signed. According to reports, the player has never known peace since signing for Accra Hearts of Oak and has been under constant spiritual attacks and cannot even sleep, although the midfielder has never come out to state reasons why he has decided to abandon the contract he signed with Hearts of Oak some months ago. Original Niimate Lai I, Ga chief from Teshi, said that Awako is from Teshi, so he decided to inspire him to join his colleagues at training to continue his football career. The chief, on behalf of the player, apologized to the House of Oaks board chairman Togbe Afede, the 14th, for his untoward behavior. According to the Ga chief, Awako is coming to help the team win more trophies, so everyone should rally behind him to deliver. He continued that Awako will do more beyond his limit and also help the team to defend the league title. The player has some kind words for the Ga chief and apologized to the Hearts fraternity for his truancy.
And that will do for this evening's bulletin. Before we go, a recap of the top stories. In a meet the press held today here in Accra, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Samuel Abujinapo, has hinted that the 2022 budget will make significant intervention for the small-scale mining sector. And also, Ghana have received 1.7 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine from the American government. And in business, commercial transport operators have said they will embark on a strike come 25th November 2021. And also on demonstrations, residents of Dalong in the northern region have also embarked on a heated demonstration following the poor nature of roads in their community. This evening, the news is brought to you by Asatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Vena Natural Mineral Water, CB Herbal Center, Blue Sea Ties, and accessories is streamed live on Facebook, Adoatv Ghana. My name is Anastasia Badu. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely evening.